Hello, eighth graders. My name is Miss Brown, and I'm going to be your new English teacher here in our online school. I welcome you to our school, and we're excited to have you here with us. I wanted to create a video to, one, introduce myself so you can kind of see the face of the person that is teaching you all the time, and two, to walk you through some of our online systems and how to find assignments, turn things in, and how our class as an English 8 class really kind of works. So before we get started, I just want to say that this transition to online learning can be a little bit challenging. It's a completely new way of learning and going through lessons, and all of our expectations are going to be new to you. So if you feel like you just need some extra help or you're not sure what to do, always feel free to reach out to me. If you're having any computer issues, you can reach out to me. I have a phone number for our tech department, and they're wonderful, and they can help you with that as well. Your homeroom teacher will also be a really great reference point for you, and she can help you, he or she can help you with this transition as well. Okay, so feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions as we get started. Okay. Now, first and foremost, what you're seeing here, again, is our online learning system. Sometimes we'll call it the OLS, sometimes we call it D2L, just to confuse you. No. But this is what you're going to see when you log in to your K-12. Okay, so you'll log in and you're going to come up and you're going to see these three options. This classes option is going to show you all of your classes. Now, this is my view, so it's going to look a little bit different than your view. These are all my classes and what I teach: American Literature, English 8, I have a homeroom. So when you log in, you're going to see a variety of different classes on your home screen, but they'll just be your particular classes, okay? If you click up to my schedule, this is a really handy tool so that you can see how many Class Connect sessions you have, or what Class Connect sessions you have. You might be saying, what is Class Connect? Class Connect is when you will come to live classes with me and all of your teachers during the week. Generally, each teacher has about 3 Class Connect sessions per week, so you actually won't be in a live classroom setting with me every day, just 3 days a week. Okay, our Class Connect sessions for English 8 are Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. But don't worry, I will remind you of all of that information. But what you will see right now, because I don't have a Class Connect on Friday, because I have nothing, but when you log in, you will see, oh, I have a math session at 8, I have a gym class at 10, and I have an English class at 11. Okay, and so you'll kind of get to see what your schedule for the day is going to look like. And then you can click right here, right in this area, once you see it, and it will take you right into our Blackboard room, is what we call it. And that's just our Class Connect. And then when you log in there, well, you don't have to log in, you just click, and it'll bring you into this room. And when you're there, then you'll see all of your classmates are going to be there with you, and we won't actually see anything live. Like, I won't see your face and you won't see my face. Sometimes I might put the video on for me, but you won't have to share yours. And then that's a place where I'm going to teach you, just like you would be in a regular classroom. And we'll have a lesson or some kind of activity that we're going to do, okay? So if you only see me 3 days a week, what do you do on the other days? That might be what you're wondering. So every single day here in English and all of your classes, you'll have some kind of lesson to complete online in our online system. K-12 has designed these classes where you're going to click on a lesson and then you'll click arrows and it'll move you through a lesson so that you can learn content on your own at home without me. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm not available to you to help you. I'm always available to help you. But it is a different way of learning. It does mean that you're going to be teaching yourself sometimes, but these lessons online will really help. There's videos and, kind of check your understanding, mini quizzes where you get the answers right in the lesson, so you're learning. But I'll walk you through that, okay? So when you log in each morning, my suggestion would be to start and just say, okay, well, what Class Connect sessions do I have today? And what time are they at? And so that you can kind of pay attention to, okay, if I go start a lesson, I need to remember that I need to jump back over here at 10 because I have a class, or at 11 especially because you have English class. Okay, but if you don't have anything listed here, this means you don't have a class. So if you don't have a math class listed, it means you don't have a live session you have to attend that day. Okay, so for example, on Friday, you won't see an English class lesson because there isn't one. Okay, so then what do you do when you go to learn the content? So every day, like I said, you have 5 lessons per week, one per day, unless we have a day off. And so then you're going to come in here and you're going to see, okay, language arts 8. I'm going to click on that. That's going to be your class. When I log in here to this class, and when I say log in, I don't mean you don't have to add any passwords or anything. It'll just take you there. I'm going to view as a student so you get a better idea of what you'll be seeing on yours. So what you'll be seeing on your session here, you're going to see today's Class Connect sessions. And so this will be another place where all of your sessions are listed. So it's another place to come to say, oh, I have to go to that live class session. The other thing that you're going to see in this area here that's not on mine is updates for you specifically on your assignment. So if you have an overdue assignment, the notification is going to be right here. If you have feedback on an assignment or you've gotten a grade on an assignment, that will all be right here too, so that you can see that information. Okay. One thing that I want to say really quickly about the assignments, okay, and I think it's really important, so make sure you're with me. Just kidding. Any assignment, any single assignment, quiz, or test, anything that we do in this class, you can redo. So if you get feedback here on an assignment that you got a C and you want an A, you can redo it. If you got a B and you want an A, you can redo it. If you got an F, I'm going to ask you to redo it. Okay? And I'm just going to give you some feedback and I'm going to suggest or I'm going to ask, hey, maybe redo this assignment. And if you are interested in redoing your assignment, I'm not going to make you, but if you are interested, simply just send me an email and say, yeah, I do want to retake that quiz. I didn't do very well. Or I do want to rewrite my paper. I want a better grade than that. Then we'll just have a chance, you and I will meet and we'll talk about it. We'll make sure that you're understanding everything, and then you can retake the quiz. And I just take the higher test score, or if you make your paper better, I don't average it. I just take your better score. At the end of the day, for me, and in this class, and I can only speak for mine, it really is about the learning. So I'm not so concerned with when you learned it. I'm just concerned that you learned it, okay? And then your grade will show that you've learned it, and that's what matters, okay? So please know that going forward, any assignment you can redo. Unless it's the end of the semester and grades are due, that's when you don't want to start redoing assignments, because then I can't. I can't grade them all and get them turned in. But as long as you're doing it throughout the semester, you'll be golden, okay? So, lessons. Where do you find them, okay? A couple features of our homepage. You're going to see a class announcement section right here. And that's just going to be kind of helpful tools, a suggested tool. We just wrote some memoirs, and so students had asked me to post this from my Class Connect session. This is a little visual. So here's our requirements for Class Connect sessions. We want to see you live at 11 o'clock on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I want you to be in the classroom with us. Now, what if you have a doctor's appointment? What if you have to go on vacation? You have to go on vacation. Okay, or you're busy or you're sick, okay, and you can't be in the live session. You still have to watch it, okay? If you still have to see what the lesson was about, you have to go back and watch it later. And I'm going to talk about the exit tickets. You might be familiar with that term and you might not, but exit tickets are basically what we're going to do at the end of the lesson. And then that's how I count attendance, okay? So if you come to the live Class Connect session on a Monday, at the end of the session, I'm going to give you an exit ticket. It might be a Google form, like check-in. It might be a worksheet I want you to complete and turn in. And then when you do that exit ticket, I'm going to say, oh, okay, Bobby was here on Monday, check, okay? And then when we meet on Tuesday, I'm going to give you another exit ticket. And when you complete that, I'm going to say, oh, Susie was here on Tuesday. Check. Okay? If you don't complete the exit ticket, that shows me that you were either in the session with me or that you watched it later. You get marked absent for the whole day in English. Yeah. So how this works is we meet 3 times a week. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So you can plan on having 3 exit tickets a week. Then on Sunday night, I go through all of those exit tickets from the week before, and I say, okay, I'm picking a name, Johnny. Johnny did Monday's exit ticket, Tuesday's exit ticket, but not Thursday's exit ticket. So he was absent on Thursday. Okay. And then Monday morning for teachers, we have to turn in our attendance in the morning on Monday for the whole week before. Okay. So that's why I'm looking at your exit tickets on Sunday night and saying, okay, who turned in their exit tickets, and can I mark them absent, or do I mark them that they were there? Okay. So that's why you have to come to the Class Connect sessions. They're really, really important, okay? And you have to complete the exit ticket and turn it in, or you get marked absent. That could be 3 absences a week that add up really, really, really fast, okay? You might be thinking, well, what about the days we don't have Class Connect sessions? How do you take attendance? What I do to take attendance on the days we don't have a Class Connect session is I look and I get a report, we get all the reports, and I say, okay, did Johnny log into class and complete work on Wednesday? Did Johnny log into class and complete work on Friday? Right? And that's how you're going to get attendance for the days we don't have Class Connect sessions, is that I see that you're on this page going through these lessons. And I know you're thinking, you haven't shown me how to do that yet. I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so I'm going to send out another helpful video with this video, and it's going to be particularly about the exit tickets. And I sent this out to all of my 8th graders that I already have last week as just some helpful tips and tricks for keeping track of your exit tickets and kind of a reminder of the exit ticket expectation. Because this is one of those things that when you're learning our system and learning all the rules and expectation, this is one thing that I'm just going to be such a stickler on. I'm pretty flexible with due dates, and I'm flexible with redoing assignments, but this attendance thing, I'm just like, I'm stuck on it. I'm really strict about it. So make sure that you watch that video too, just to kind of know how that's all going to work, okay? That's for our live in-class Class Connect sessions, okay? So each day online, you have an assignment to complete, some lesson to complete. And how are you going to know what you have to do that day? So when you log in, I always want you to use the Plan tab. Don't use the Content tab. This is really confusing. If you're not sure what lesson we're working on, it won't tell you there. But if you use the Plan tab, it's going to pull up our class calendar, okay? Now, when you look at this calendar right now is for September. I'll click to October. Well, I don't have anything in October yet. I will. But this is our September calendar, and you'll notice it's all one color. When you log in, you have the opportunity, if you want to show all of your classes, and it'll show all the classes on one calendar, or you can just select to have one class at a time. I recommend, if you log into English 8, you only see English 8. Otherwise, it just gets really, really overwhelming, okay? So this is all English 8 material. I'm going to move this down because I think it's cut off for you a little bit. Okay, so today is the 12th as I'm making this video, okay? And so what the kids will do is they're going to say, okay, today I don't have a Class Connect session, CC session, and you'll hear me call it a CC session too. I don't have a Class Connect session today on Friday, so I need to work on lesson 112, okay? They're also going to notice there's no assignment due. This is a lesson that I need to go through for my own learning. I need to complete it for my unit test. I need to know the material in it, but I don't have something due. Because the clue for something due is always that it's going to say the number of the lesson, lesson 110, but it's also going to give you an 11:30 p.m. time frame, and that means that something is due. And I always say 11:30 because it's the latest time in the day that I can select, because you do have all day to complete the lesson. That's one of the greatest things about online learning, is there is flexibility in time, okay? So for example, they had to turn their memoir in on Tuesday, and so this was their reminder to do that. Okay, So on the 28th, there is no assignment due. What I want to do, I'm not going to click on this one. I'm going to click on one that does have some kind of assignment or exit ticket due so that I can show you how to turn something in, okay? So the top part here without any due dates attached, this is your lesson, okay? You can click here, but it will only take you to the assignment that's due. So you haven't learned the lesson yet. So don't start there, okay? When you click here, it will walk you all the way through the lesson and get you to the assignment. So this will take care of everything, okay? So I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to click on More, okay? And this is what's actually going to bring up the lesson. It's thinking. Okay, here we go. So this is what you're going to see. Now, it shows me that I have it 75% complete because as the teacher, I've already gone through and added material and changed things, and because that's what I do. But when you start, it's going to show you that you're at the beginning, that you haven't yet completed things. And then as you go through the lesson, it will click off these sections for you. And then when you finish the lesson, it will report that you finished the lesson. If you don't finish the lesson, it's going to give you like an alert. Alert. If you didn't finish it. Alert. Okay, so it'll start here. And then to go through the lesson, all you need to do is start at the beginning. Okay, so click on that first thing, and then you're going to have arrows right here that you click the next arrow and it will walk you through all the way through the lesson from beginning all the way to the assignment, okay? So for example, on Monday for lesson 113, and I don't want you to worry about this particular lesson today. This is not going to be something that I'm going to ask you to do and jump into right yet. We will talk more about what I would like you to be completing in our Class Connect session at 11 o'clock, okay, on Monday. So, but this is what my current already here students that they've been here since September, this is what they're working on, okay? So it says, please attend our CC session on 10/1 before you start this lesson, because we're going to complete part of the lesson together, okay? So maybe this wasn't the best one to choose, but sometimes when we have a Class Connect session, I will take part of your lesson and I'll teach it in a better way or in a way that I want to, and then you can go and you can finish your lesson. So it's not that you have to come to a CC session and have a whole lesson to do. Sometimes I like to take it so that you can do both together. Sometimes, though, that doesn't work out and you have a CC session and a lesson. Sometimes you have to do both, okay? So know that if you have a CC session and a lesson assigned to you, you do have to do the lesson too, okay? So you're going to click to the next section, and because I deleted parts of this lesson, it's going to jump us all the way to the next section here. So see how it says the Horrors of Slavery 5? It should start with the Horrors of Slavery 1, and then it would be the Horrors of Slavery 2, and then, you know, and so on and so forth. But I got rid of the first 5 sections of this. And so then what I ended up keeping was this information about checking your main idea. Now, I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go, it's still Horrors of Slavery 5, but this is still part of the same lesson. One thing I want to note, as you're teaching yourself, it's really important to use these tools. Okay, they have these here for a reason. They're going to give you more lesson information, more content information, and this is really how you teach yourself material and content, okay? So it'll help you understand the lesson. And then when you get to the end, oftentimes you'll have a quiz based on what you did in the lesson, and generally that information is right here. If you click through to these sections, whatever they are, the answers to the quiz are usually in there. Okay, and then you might have activities where you're going to move things, and then you can check your answers. So maybe I'll move these all in here. I'm going to guess that this is not right, but I'm going to check. Oh, okay. So as a learner that I'm trying to teach myself, I'm going to have to read through and figure out, okay, well, what did I do? What was a mistake, right? And then I can go back and I can try it again, and then I can try to get it right, okay? And let's check. Nope, I still got it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to do that for myself as a learner. I'm not going to just skip ahead. I'm going to try to figure out that meaning because I'm probably going to be tested on it. Okay, so if we keep going, like I said, now it's going to bring us page 4 of 4. So the next click through is going to bring us to the next section. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. And I'm sorry if my internet is a little bit slow, but again, all of these are places, click on these things, okay? This is where you learn, especially when we read really challenging material, this is where you learn how to understand that material, okay? Now, sometimes when we have a really challenging text, like the one we're doing in class right now, I will do a read aloud of that text, and this is what this is here, which is I'm reading aloud as you follow along. It's always optional. If you don't like to listen to someone else read, then you just click to the next section and like, okay, here's my text. I'm gonna click over here and just read it myself. And you can always do that. Okay, so I'm going to get us through to the assignment. Oh, okay. In this case, you're going to have a discussion assignment. So there's a couple different types of assignments. There's assignments you're going to turn into what we call a Dropbox. And then there's assignments that you're going to do that's called a discussion. And this is where you post to the kind of the public forum where everybody can read your responses and you can read theirs. And then you can like talk to each other about it, right? So the discussion question might be, what's the main idea in this story? And then you're going to share your response and other people are going to share their responses. And then you guys can like respond to each other, you know, kind of like I don't know, I'm trying to think on Facebook where you can like comment underneath, maybe it's a little bit like that. So you'll be able to walk through this. Okay, here's my discussion post and my prompt. This is what I need to do. Okay. And it's thinking, is it thinking? I think I clicked on this. And then again, if you just keep clicking through, it took us right to the discussion post discussion prompt, okay? So that I can complete this activity, okay? And I'm going to keep going. And then here is actually where you get to submit an assignment. So like I said, sometimes your exit tickets are a worksheet that I want you to turn in, and you're going to turn it in on here, right? And so, for example, this is a Monday lesson. So there's a Monday exit ticket. So it says, please complete the exit ticket given out in the CC session today. Generally, I will not link it in here. I want you to come to the CC session, and I will give you the worksheet in that live session. It just pops up on your computer, okay? And so I'll tell you maybe what it is, but I'm probably not going to give it to you unless you come to the session. Okay, but then you're going to submit it to the Dropbox. And this is where I can show you how to turn something in. If you're like, if you get to Sunday, I don't know if I turned in that exit ticket. One thing you can do is just come back to this area and say, no submissions yet. Oh, I got to do that exit ticket, right, and get it done. The other thing you can do is when you get an assignment, so maybe you clicked on a link in the lesson and that was your assignment. Or maybe I gave it to you in a CC session and you have a worksheet or something to complete. You want to save that document to your computer, okay? Somewhere you can find it. That can be tricky too. Save it to your computer and then you're going to click upload, okay? Find that document from your computer, okay? Here it is, okay? And if I want to add a comment to Miss Brown, I'm not sure about this. Can you take a look at it? Maybe you don't want me to grade it just yet. Or here's my assignment. Have a great day, Miss Brown. You're the best teacher in the whole wide world. You don't have to write that. Okay, but when you're ready, you don't have to type anything at all. You can just leave it blank. And then you just click submit. And now you've turned in an assignment online. Okay? So hopefully that is a little bit more clear about how to turn something in and how you can check and see if you completed your exit tickets. So now I didn't click submit because I don't want this in there, but when you click submit, you know, it's going to, then you can click next. And now maybe you can see this box up here. It says leave site, your changes may not be saved. That's because I didn't hit submit. It's just a little warning, but I'm going to actually go ahead and leave. You won't get that message that pops up for you. Okay, so it's going to let me now go and leave the session when it finishes thinking. Okay, so then it shows, look at that, 100%. I completed the entire lesson and I did all of the activities. But be careful, did we actually complete the discussion at the end of the lesson? No, we did not. So you have to be careful that it might check things off for you, but you may not have finished it. So just make sure that you complete the lesson, okay, that you do all the activities. But now, okay, we're done. You have finished English for today. There is nothing more for you to do for our classes today. Okay, so then you can go back to the plan tab. Maybe you want to start working on the next day's assignment, or you want to just see what's coming up. You can do that too and scroll down. Okay, so today I finished my 113 lesson. Tomorrow, oh, 113 lesson. So sometimes you'll see that you have 2 days to complete a lesson, and this is one of those times. So students can say, oh, I have 2 days to do this lesson because it's kind of long, so I can plan accordingly, okay? But sometimes you'll only have the one day, and you'll have to complete it that day. Okay, so that's how you're going to walk through the lessons. You're always going to use the plan tab, and then you'll look at the day, that day's date, and it'll show you, okay, here's my lesson for today. And I'll click on it, and I'll click on more, and then I'll just use those arrows to walk myself all the way through the lesson. I can't stress enough to make sure that you're going through all of those sections. Sometimes it's easy to click next, right, without going through it or without reading it, because it'll check it off. Like, so your learning coach might say, oh, you did the lesson, good. And your English teacher might say, oh, you did the lesson, good. But if you're not learning the material in it on those pages, you're not going to do well on the tests. Okay, so make sure that you are really going through each of those sections and reading them and learning from them and, playing around with moving things around, because that's how you're going to learn what you need to learn to be successful. Okay? But if you have any questions about any of that, you can always check in with me. Okay? So to get back to kind of our home page, you click on Class Home. You can see if there's any announcements or any information. Over here on the side, this is another way that you can say, oh, okay, so today is September 28th. Here's the lesson I need to do. Oh, October 1st. Here's the lesson that I need to do. So this is kind of just another way to quick check the plan tab. I prefer using the plan tab. I think it's easier. As far as what's up here, the only thing you ever really need to pay attention to up here is this Class Connect session recording links, okay? So let's say I was sick and I couldn't come to Monday's session, okay? Or I had a doctor's appointment, or I went on vacation and I didn't take my English teacher with me. That's what you're going to do is you're going to come here and you're going to click on this link. It's a Google Doc that I update after every single session. And then when it loads, you will see all the session links, okay? And it will tell you what it was from, and it will tell you the date that it was from. So, for example, our last Class Connect session was yesterday, the 27th, and it was on Frederick Douglass's narrative, and it was for lesson 111. And so if I was not able to come that day, I will click here, and it will take, well, I'll try, and then it will take me to our actual Class Connect session. Okay, so Blackboard is our Class Connect session tool. Again, all you have to do is click on the link in the couple areas that I showed you where you have Class Connect session links, or if you're watching a recording, you'll click on the link here, okay? And so for my computer, for whatever reason, I have to click this little box that pops up, or it just doesn't want to run on its own. I have a Surface, so I think it's weird. I think most people, theirs just kind of starts working. You may, on your first Class Connect session, need to actually download it, and a box is going to pop up for you here, like, hey, download Blackboard Collaborate, and you're going to say, yes, I want to download you so that I can use you for classes. And my computer asks me to choose Run first, but I want to give you a little visual of what our Class Connect sessions look like. And you'll get to see this a little bit on your first, we have a kind of an open all school assembly, so you're seeing this there as well, but it does take a little bit to load, so it's working. And so then you'll get to kind of see what our classrooms look like. But if you have to watch the recording, you won't be able to participate, but you're still going to be able to get all the information. And any worksheets that I hand out, you're going to be able to get access to those as well. So I'm going to move this up a little bit so you get a better visual here. And then yours probably will have the chat box down here, okay, like this. I like to have it separate. I just pull it apart, and I like to have it separate because as the teacher, I want to see everything, okay? So this is just loading. It'll take just a minute, and of course my computer is a little bit slow, so it'll take a minute yet. But once it does load, then you as the viewer would just be able to watch the session and go through all of the lesson materials and all the information. And then at the end usually is when I hand out the exit ticket. And that might be a worksheet, that might be Google Form link, and you'll just click the link, and then you'll take kind of a Google Form quiz, maybe a little bit. So as you go, if you're ever having to watch the recording, this is what you'll do. And I'm trying to stall for time because it's loading, but it's loading really slowly. um, I would really, really, really recommend that you come to the live sessions. Okay, even if you're nervous and you're like, well, what if she called on me, or I don't want to be called on? I'm really good about making sure you feel comfortable about things before I just kind of start calling on you. Okay, so try to come to those sessions live. Okay.
Okay. Recording started. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna probably have to do that a lot today. So we are going to, my apologies,
Click to the wrong
graphic
thing.
organizer that I'm
Okay,
going to.
so that is just an example of what it's going to look like. You're going to be over here. Your name will be here. You're also going to be able to chat in the chat box to me or to your peers. And we'll talk more about that in our session on Monday. And then we'll walk through a PowerPoint together. And notice nobody sees each other, so it's really safe and comfortable. I think you'll like it. So I'm just going to exit out of here because I don't have an exit ticket I need to do. And I'm going to use my tabs here up at the top to just pop back over to English. Okay, so that is a little bit more information about our class. I want to be respectful of your time, but I also want to make sure you're really comfortable with how to use everything on here that's available to you. Okay, you'll have a grades tab or a progress tab, so you can see kind of how you're doing and everything in the class too. I recommend you check out those things. But for now, just try to think about using the plan tab to know what you're going to learn each day, and think about using the, what was I going to say? Oh, make sure that you're checking and coming to the Class Connect sessions, okay? Especially in the beginning, because that's where I'm going to tell you and explain to you how everything works, okay? So that's a little bit information about me. I will introduce myself a little bit more in our first session together at 11 o'clock on Monday. And then we can get to know each other a little bit better. I'll show you a little bit more about how to use the tools in our Class Connect to kind of get interactive with your learning. And then we'll actually go through and we'll start working on some lessons next week. But for Monday, you have no lesson to complete in English. I just want you to come to our session, get used to everything, and get comfortable, ask questions, and then we'll get started after that. Okay, if you have any questions as you get started, if you're not sure about anything at all, please feel free to email me at any time and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, I hope you all have a wonderful day and we'll see you Monday at 11.